With Barcelona having kicked off their pre-season preparations and Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid enjoying their much-deserved holidays after the Club World Cup, with their pre-season due to kick off in a week's time or just under in a week's time, there's not much going on in the world of football. There is not much going on in the Spanish world of football. So what we're going to do today is give an early season prediction as to what I think the La Liga table could look like at the end of the season. And we're only really going to talk about those three teams, and I want to start with who I think is going to be in third place, Atletico Madrid. Let's start with their transfers, and we'll start from last year's transfers. Last year, Atletico Madrid spent 188 million euros, with the most notable additions being Julian Alvarez from Manchester City for 75 million euros, Conor Gallagher from Chelsea for 42 million euros, and Robin Lenormand from Real Sociedad for 34.5 million euros. Now, on to this season, this summer's transfer window, where they've spent 155 million euros. The most notable ones this summer being Alex Baena from Villarreal for 42 million euros, Johnny Cardoso from Real Betis for 30 million euros, and David Hanko from Feyenoord for 26 million euros. They have the spending power. They spent nearly 200 million last year. They spent 155 million this year, with still over a month to go of the transfer window. The thing is with Atletico, they have this inferiority complex. They have this narrative and this agenda that they want to push out, that they're so much weaker and they're so far behind everyone else. Well, not everyone else, but mostly Real Madrid and Barcelona. I don't get it. I do not get it. Brother, you spent 200 million nearly last year. You spent 155 million so far this summer. There's still a month to go. Where's this complex coming from? Where's this narrative and idea coming from? Let's look at all the reasons why they're not that far off from Real Madrid and Barcelona. And in fact, they're closer to Real Madrid and Barcelona than they are to the next La Liga team. Atletico Madrid are closer in the bubble to the top two, Barca and Real Madrid, than they are the rest of La Liga. In terms of stadium, they've recently built a brand new stadium in the Metropolitana. Real Madrid have only recently renovated the Bernabeu, but it was after Atletico finished the Metropolitana. So they were ahead in the stadium. Barcelona is still building the Camp Nou. They aren't even done renovating the Camp Nou. That's still going on. So they're ahead in the stadium. In terms of transfers, they can spend. They have the spending power. They might not be able to spend. They claim they can't spend as much as Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona can't spend at all. Barcelona's broke. I don't remember the last time Barcelona really spent on a player. They do pick up players every now and then for 40s or 50s or 30 million euros in strange installment deals or loan deals with options to buy like Rashford. But they haven't been spending in a while. So you're ahead of Barcelona in spending. Yeah, and yes, you might not be ahead of Real Madrid in spending, but even Real Madrid, as a Madridista, I can say this: we don't spend 150 or 200 million every single summer. We typically spend 100 or 200 million every 3 or 4 summers. We'll still make purchases. We might still pick up someone for 20 or 30 million euros here or there, or if someone leaves, we make a purchase. But typically, that's how we spend. So you're there with us in that regard. In terms of drawing big name players, yes, you won't draw a Kylian Mbappe and you won't draw a Jude Bellingham. But Julian Alvarez is no slouch. Julian Alvarez is one of the biggest names in world football, one of the best strikers in world football. And you've pulled him. So you clearly have pull power as well. So this whole mentality and a narrative that they want to push, that's what makes me think they are once again going to fall behind and not quite get over that final hurdle as far as La Liga is concerned. Moving on to second place. And this was a tough one, but I'm staying loyal to Real Madrid. And in second place, I have Barcelona. And that is a little to do with Barcelona, but a little more to do with Real Madrid. So let's start with Barcelona. They've made one addition in Marcus Rashford. I think Marcus Rashford will surprise a lot of people. I actually do. I genuinely think Rashford will surprise a lot of people. Not only because he's a good footballer and he has the abilities and the profile that Barcelona is kind of missing, but also because Rashford fills a hole that Nico Williams and, what's his name? I forgot his name. Diaz. I forgot his first name. But Diaz from Liverpool that's gone to Bayern wouldn't have filled. The original 2 transfer targets that Barcelona had. Diaz and Nico Williams are left wingers. They only play left wing. Rashford can play all across the front line. Rashford can play on the left, giving Rafinha rest. He can play on the right, giving Yamal rest. Or he can play on the left with Rafinha playing on the right, again giving Yamal rest. He can play up front, giving Lewandowski rest. He can occupy any of the front three positions. He has pace, something the Barcelona attack isn't lacking. Rafinha is fast, but they have an extra addition now. They have an extra threat on the counter. It's not just Yamal. Because Yamal, he does have pace, but he's typically the guy making the final pass, isn't he? He isn't the guy getting on the end of the final pass. He's the one making it. So now he has two options to look for. Instead of just looking for Rafinha, who's fast and going to be able to get on the end of his passes, he has Rashford to look for. Rashford also has a ridiculously good shot from distance. Another thing that the Barcelona attack and team could utilise. He has a ferocious shot on him, and he's ferocious from set pieces. So they've got another additional threat from free kicks. So I think Rashford could surprise a lot of people, but I think a lot of it is down to Rashford. A lot of Rashford's career has been down to Rashford, and I think his Barca career will also be down to him. If he buckles down, he can be a problem. If he doesn't, then all the better for Real Madrid. But I think in Rashford, they've made a good acquisition. Even though he wasn't their first choice, he will be a solid acquisition for them. And I think Barcelona will just continue doing what they've done. They're a strong team. They dominated us last year. And I don't see them dropping off or falling off or missing a step or slowing down this year. I think they'll keep the same thing going. They might improve further. You can only imagine if that's what Hansi Flick's got them doing after a few months, after a year, he will have them playing even better. Even better. And with players having been in the formation and the play style for a year, they'll only have improved. But big but, the reason I think they will just fall short of Real Madrid in La Liga is for two reasons. The first one is Xabi Alonso, and the second one is La Liga is not a two-game race, or a two-game competition, I should say. It's not a game of Real Madrid versus Barcelona, whoever wins takes La Liga. Now, the way they dominated us last year, I can't sit here and for certainty say we will change things completely next year, but the year before, we dominated them. The year before, we trounced Barcelona. It was a very, very one-sided El Clasico season where what they did to us this year, we pretty much did to them last year. Like in the Copa del Rey final, or was it the Spanish Super Cup final where we won 3 or 4-0 with Vinicius getting a hat-trick. We done that to them last year, and with the addition of Hansi Flick, in one season, they 180'd and became these monsters. Now we have Xabi Alonso. So nothing is stopping us from 180ing and becoming the team that once again dominates La Liga. Or the El Clasico. But, like I said, La Liga isn't just a two-team competition with El Clasico being the only game. We have a whole bunch of teams and a 38-game season. And I think that's where Real Madrid will win. Real Madrid will win La Liga because Real Madrid have a better squad than Barcelona. And even last year, when Barcelona was phenomenal, if Real Madrid were able to overcome certain hurdles in certain games, we might have had a better chance in La Liga or push them further or maybe even won. It was just a few issues in a few games because of missing profile and missing players. Because we didn't have centre-backs and we were playing, and we didn't have right-backs and we didn't have certain profiles of players, we ended up losing games we should have won last year. Now, with the addition of players like Trent and Dean Howson and Alvaro Carreras, Real Madrid have fixed all the problem areas in their squad, whereas Barcelona have only been able to address one problem area in their squad. So, I think because of the summer transfers and because of the additions and because of the squad and because of what Real Madrid will do as a whole in La Liga, not just El Clasico, but as a whole in La Liga, Real Madrid will win La Liga and we will once again be the top team and the champions of Spain. But anyway, I'm going to call the video there. Thanks for watching and peace.